Hey guys, welcome to chessroots.com. Today in this live game, I'm going to show you a game which was played between Liren and Elianov Pavel. This was played in Reykjavik Open Tournament 2013. Okay, here Elzro is black and Liren is white. D4, D5, C4, C6, Knight f3, Knight f6, Knight c3, a6. Actually, this position we are studying for the third time today. The same position has been repeated. Here, one player he played e3. We just saw e3 today morning, and now he played again e3, Bishop f5. As we have discussed the plan of a6 and b5, and there will be no queen b3 in this position. The only reason is after queen b3, for example, black can simply play more like b5. So here Liren played queen b3. I think is somewhat not that much active. He's committing black to play b5 and c5. So this the commitment of c5 can be played even after playing by b5. So white doesn't need to play more like queen b3. Instead of you should try to play more like e4 or something like knight e5, bishop d3. So queen b3 is totally useless in this position. So black immediately tries to seize the initiative and played a5. Now knight e5, a4, queen d1. So g6, the only counter chance is by playing bishop g7 and later knight f d7 and trying to push e5. So bishop d2, bishop g7, g4. This bishop on f5 should be attacked. So the best way is to play is g4. So bishop e6, bishop g2, h5. Now L0 just want to weak the position of white by playing h5. He cannot take h5. The position of white king will be more exposed. So h3, and even he cannot leave the square of g4. So he has to support with h3, queen c7. Now f4 was played in the game. White is going too aggressive in this position. H into g4, h into g4, rook into h1, bishop into h1, and knight bd7. Now I think in this position white has simply played a blunder by playing a move called g5. And now the position became pretty complicated. After g5, black simply took knight into e5. Here white played f into g5, I think, which is a big mistake. Why he lost the game immediately after. Here black immediately got a very good compensation for his attack and totally demolished white position. So let us see the game later and try to analyze this position. What happens if you capture a move like g into f6? For example, let us see g into f6, knight d3 check. King f1 is total bad because bishop h3 check and bishop into f6 loses. For example, king f1 is total bad, bishop h3 check, and after king g1, bishop f6, simply this king is terribly bad, and after long castle, or even queen d7, queen bishop white black is simply advantage. So that is not possible. So after knight d3, let us see king e2, attacking this knight, and bishop g4 check, king into d3, bishop into d1, f into g, long castle, rook into d1, or knight into d1 in view of b4, rook g7, knight f2, rook into g7, bishop f3, rook h7. I think this position should be played in the game instead of giving away straight away the game for the black. So this is a little more complicated than what white actually played in the game. So here in this position, white simply took after knight e5, f e5 was played in the game, and knight g4, queen f3, and here black played a very good move. Pause this position for a while and try to see the move. And okay, fine. Here white played very good sacrifice, knight into e5. The reason why he took this sacrifice, I'll tell you. Simply this position now, this bishop on e6 is not doing much. Sorry, let us see the pieces. Knight on g4 is almost trapped. This bishop on g7 is terribly bad. Queen on c7 is no words to say. Even it doesn't have really good squares. This rook cannot do anything until he do castling. So first thing is he took this pawn such that d into e5, queen into e5. Now let us compare the pieces with white and black. Now white queen is black queen is very active. This bishop on e6 is ready to jump on this long diagonal. This bishop on g7 is very good after playing a move like a3. There is no way that this bishop can be stopped. Whereas black, this bishop on h1 doesn't really have any scope. Even g2, c3, and queen on f3. And this rook is not even coming in the game now. After castling, maybe it will come. And this e3 pawn, you see these pawns, e3, f. So this position, I think black is having a very good chance to win this position. Maybe having at least a better compensation for the piece sacrifice and the 2 pawns. So he simply here, I think white should have played a move like a3, preventing a3 move from black. He could have played a move like a3 such that the position may hold for some more time. So here he simply blundered by playing. He played queen f4. Queen f4 is blunder because after queen into f4, g into f4, this bishop on, he just supported this pawn on g5, but let us see, this bishop on h1 can never come into game. This bishop and knight are practically doing nothing, and after he need to do long castle, but here white is ready to play a move like a3, and this diagonal and this file is too dangerous for white. Even now bishop and f5 is very dangerous. So here simply played b4, knight e2, blunder again, blunder. After queen f4, I think this is a big blunder where he lost the game immediately after playing a move called a3. Now there is no way he can play b3 or even support this pawn. He simply can capture with bishop into and take with and also play bishop f5 and make this pawn as queen. So in this position, white simply resigned. in view of a into b2 and bishop f5. This was a good example of a passive play and a very dubious moves in the opening, like queen b3. Practically, queen b3 doesn't really work. You should not play queen b3 move. So at least you could have played a move like bishop d3 in trying to exchange, or even c5. But now after c5 there will be no bishop on f4. Or at least he can play a move like a4, but queen b3 is just like a provoking. Queen b3, even after queen b3, b5, he could have taken this c d5 pawn or b5 pawn and could have played a4, so that it will be some useful for this move of queen b3, or at least he could have achieved something by playing a move queen b3. And after c5 also, this queen b3 looks terribly bad. So see, in this position, g4 can be played, and after h5, queen c7, hg, rook h1, bishop h1, knight bd7. So here also white could have captured g into f6, at least to try to save the game, instead of playing. So after queen f3, knight e5, this was lost. This was a very good sacrifice by Pavel, and this game is well. So let us see in the next game. Next game I'm going to show you this the other tournament game. That game is actually it's a live game between Anand and Caruana, and another two boards are going on. So please stay tuned. I will be uploading this next game in a few minutes. Don't forget to subscribe and leave comments. See you in the next video. Bye.